Yeah, get up! Wakey, wakey! This is Business Live Global Radio, an international radio station connecting business owners from around the globe. I'm your host, Johnny Boy, the Consumer Monkey McDonald. Let me hear ya! Yeah! So I'm going to be interviewing business owners from around the world, finding out what makes them tick, their struggles, their trials, and their successes. Listen in for all things business, and if you want to contribute to a show and be interviewed on Business Live Global, reaching an audience across already 18 countries, then DM me and we'll set something up. For now, let's see who we've got for today. Hey leader, what do you do when the underutilized talent is you? I give you Sam Morgan.
Sam. Brilliant. Love the introduction. Just lay it out there, my friend.
Absolutely. We've got to have brand recognition. So great. How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for having me on today, John.
Fantastic. So you are our inaugural interview, or certainly my inaugural interview for Business Live Global. You're going to be speaking to business owners, SMEs all around the world. I know you're in Vancouver, United States, but you're not bound by location, are you?
No. I talked to folks from like just in the last couple of weeks, Peru, New Zealand, England, Greece, Germany. That's just Cairo. I mean, I've talked to so many different folks recently. So yeah, a worldwide, global, love it, and fits right in with the Business Live Global.
Okay. So tell us a bit about your journey. You say in the questions we looked at that you have this scientific side that you combined. Tell us your journey and how you got to where you are now.
Yeah, that's a big part of it, right? I grew up, and looking back on it now, I really love to see how things were put together. I remember when I was like 8 years old for Christmas, I got this, I think it was called Toby, the tape recorder.
Yeah.
It was this blue one put out by Mattel. And that was like what I wanted for Christmas. And when I got it, my parents were kind of dumbfounded because I took it in my room within probably the first few weeks, took the screwdriver to it and like opened it up. I wanted to see all the capacitors and chips and resistors and how it was put together. And that's just how I've always operated. I wanted to see what one thing caused another thing to cause another thing. Right. And so when you think about logic and science, that's the basic, right? Like what causes what to happen. And so fast forward to as I learned about this idea of continuous improvement in these frameworks we call lean, and I got to know that, want to do the work, want to coach in that space. I was at a conference last year. I was speaking at the conference, but the powerful moment for me was when a couple of gentlemen got on stage and started asking us to write down challenges in our life. And I was processing, where I'd been, where I was going. And I wrote down on the sheet of paper, I'll never forget it, Jonathan, because I got chills down my spine when I looked down and it said, I don't have the confidence to charge for coaching. Wow. And it was in that moment where I was like, I need to move forward towards this. So I talked to a couple people at that conference, got some more insight. And then the next night went back to my bedroom and was awaiting word on an interview, job opportunity. I had 3 great interviews, was in the same field I'd been in continuous improvement, was super excited. And they said, nope, sorry, journey's done. And so it was like this perfect timing in a way. Like it didn't feel like that in the moment. So the next day I was out on the beach, the East Coast of the United States, Jekyll Island, Georgia. And as I was reflecting, I said, okay, if I do this thing of coaching, what's that look like for me? What do I want them to look like, the people that I work with and help? And the idea of being seen, heard, and valued, and them feeling worthy was what came to mind. And so as I'm flying out that day, I'm listening to the book Dare to Lead by Brene Brown. And in it, she talks a lot about a lot of different things. But the quote that really stood out for me was Joseph Campbell, who's someone who wrote a lot about mythology and the hero's journey. And the quote he said that's just stuck with me ever since then is, the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. And so that was the moment for me where I jumped out and was like, okay, it's time for me to move out past my fears of like starting something on my own and really believing in myself that I can do this. Mm-hmm. And so that's when I took the leap and started the journey to start my own coaching company.
Yep.
And as I was moving forward through this, I went through this process of called the Toyota Kata. And
Yes, I
basically,
was looking at that. So it's form.
yeah, yeah. So it's basically a 4-step process that a gentleman took to looking at how Toyota management, like what their process was for helping the people, helping their teams move forward, helping their business move forward. And he investigated and studied this for 5 years. Like, okay, well, how are they doing this? And he came up with a pattern that he saw. Basically understand what the challenge that you're facing is, understand where you're at right now, look at a couple of weeks ahead and set a mark for how the process you want it to look. And then lastly, start experimenting and moving towards it around the obstacles that come up in your way. And that's scientific thinking, right? That's when you go through that process of experimentation and putting a hypothesis out there of what you think is going to happen, try and experiment and then see what happens and adjust after. But the beauty of that is, and the connection to confidence in my journey is, once I got that and started practicing it myself and then started coaching it, I started seeing confidence grow in myself, because I'm like, well, when there's an obstacle in my way, all I need to do is try something out, see what happens, and then learn from it, and then come back around and try it again. I don't have to
So
be
are
afraid.
you a science geek, student, enthusiast? What is your relation to science?
Well, it's that scientific thinking.
Yeah,
for
but
me.
like, so at college, at school, at university, how
No, like I didn't major in anything. I've always loved
you
math
just
and
have
science.
you have this growth mindset, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. I always have loved logic, math, science. It's just always appealed to me in my frame of reference and my mindset. So that's what caught me. But then it ties into that, like, confidence and feeling of like, I'm capable, I can do this, right? When you practice in this way. So it's interesting. It's always been interesting to me, because I think we've kind of like separated this idea of maybe the arts and the sciences and like the feeling of empowerment with like, how does that even fit together? But for me, it is like a beautiful marriage.
Have you read the book Good to Great?
Yes, I believe so. Who's it by?
I don't remember. It's back in my cupboard, but it's about companies that outperformed the market by 15% for over 15 years. And of the NASDAQ 500 or whatever it is, only 15 companies met this criteria for this study, and they looked at what these companies did, and yeah, profound learning. So let's say that I'm a department head, not maybe a bit higher. Let's say I'm a VP of an operational section. I know from my past experience that there's a problem with silos. So companies tend to not have good cross communication.
Yeah.
So I'm someone like that. You have just told us about how you pushed yourself through this learning, and by doing so became the perfect teacher because you saw it worked.
Yes. Yeah.
So why am I going to come to you? I mean, I might be watching this now. Talk to me.
Yeah. So as a leader, it starts with you, right? Like, and it starts with like, if you're looking for it from a personal perspective or an organizational. For me, I love working with leaders who are on a journey for themselves and have just felt like stuck and want to move forward. But the process can apply to an organizational challenge as well, right? And a lot of the times what happens is we're not clear on where we're headed to. So first of all, we don't have like the big vision. Once we have that from like, especially from leadership, then organizationally, we start looking within our group, right? And okay, what's the challenge for our group, and being clear on that? Like, what's the date? What does it look like when we get there? And the reason why we're actually doing it. And
you've got 2 minutes.
Yeah. So that's what you do. You start by getting clear on where you're headed to, and you understand where you're at.
Yeah.
Be very clear and honest. Get a set like some goals, like the first one out a couple weeks, and then start doing experiments to do it. And
so
do that like
speak
for
to
yourself.
me. down the camera, look at me down the camera. We've got 1 minute and 44 seconds before I play your tune. Look down the camera, speak to me as a business leader.
Yeah, so that's what you do. You start by understanding your challenge, and then you get an understanding of where you're at right now. You set a 2-week goal. You start running experiments against all the obstacles that are in your way, and you keep doing that over and over and over again for where you're at. And then you demonstrate that and you coach that to other people, the leaders under you, your senior directors, and they start picking it up, and then their directors, and then their managers, and you move it on down. And then that sort of mindset will start permeating throughout your organization.
And how long would something like this take? You have 60 seconds.
Yeah. So I would say, I mean, there's no like real time, like timeline. I mean, like you typically want to have something that's like 6 months or a year out, and you can start doing this. But again, it starts with one person that's passionate about wanting to do this in their organization, and you just start and you go.
Okay. And how available are you in terms of if I need something to happen in the next quarter? What kind of bookings have you got available?
Yeah, just reach out to me via LinkedIn, and I'm happy to chat with you. I have opportunities and openings right now to chat, so I'd be happy to do that.
Excellent. And as we come up to your song, what's this song mean to you?
Well, I've always had in my own self belief that I couldn't do things, no confidence in myself. And so this song, You Can't Stop Me, basically talks about that story of how I've stopped myself for my...
You can't stop me! Can't stop, won't stop. Where the brakes at? I give him that ditty bop, like take that, take that, take that, take that. I'ma put in work, I'ma do that ASAP. Throw my faith in rap, but they say don't say that, huh? What I'ma turn down for? I feel like Shaq in 9-4, breaking glass in that backboard. I like Kobe and Toronto, huh? Dropping 81, yo, I dropped the 88. Ricky Bobby, shake and bake, sleeping on it, should've stayed awake, huh? Everybody make mistakes like VJs, tryna say my name is Minio. Say it with me, Minio. Okay, great, 2 forks high, raise the stakes, risk it all, I take the hate. This the winning team, get the Gatorade. My guy good, but he's not safe, nah. They try to shut us down and it ain't gon' slide. Only thing I fear is God and he on my side. That's the confidence I got, cause he got me. That's why I really feel like you can't stop me. That's all you got. Come on with it. That's all you got. You can't stop me. You don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not an option. I'm my biggest problem. You don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not an option. You can't stop me. You're my biggest opponent. You know me, I know you, we know it. Whenever I fail, you always been there to simply remind me I've blown it. You don't see when I'm growing. You don't see where I'm going. You only see in the moment. You know my mistakes. You never let go it. Don't cease to amaze me, and it drive me crazy, that you catch every detail that I missed in the songs I'm making. Saying you will never write a verse like Kendrick, never be the rapper I got from Hendrix. Top 10 alive, you will never be mentioned. Why aim so high, won't survive the trenches? Plus, you a Christian, Andy, they will never listen, Andy. Plus, when you're pigment, Andy, you don't got skill, you a gimmick, Andy. Well, if I listen to you, and everything you put in my ear, I'll be living like woulda, shoulda, coulda. I'll be paralyzed by fear, ain't that the truth? If I quit, the only way I lose, I got 2 choices when I do this: make moves or make excuses, If you know who I'm talking about, then you got me. My biggest enemy is me, and even I can't stop me. They try to shut us down and it ain't gon' slide. Only thing I fear is God and he on my side. That's the confidence I got, cause he got me. That's why I really feel like you can't stop me. That's all you got. Come on with it. That's all you got. You can't stop me. You don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not an option. I'm my biggest problem. You don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not an option. You can't stop me. I said if I cannot stop me, then you'll never stop me. Oh no, can't stop. Oh no, won't stop. I said if I cannot stop me, then you'll never stop me. Oh no, can't stop. Oh no, won't stop.